Sithole and Mike Salume on the announcement by Mmusi Maimane that he has resigned from the Democratic Alliance. But we have another breaking story right now. Our colleague Sipho is standing by. Sipho, what's happening where you are?
Well, a very good morning to you, Tesra. I'm not sure it's quite breaking news, but we are coming from the TUT Soshanguve South Campus, where we are expecting the campus to be, rather the students to be addressed by Public Protector Busem Kwebane. This is part of her roadshow where she's gone touring on a number of campuses, addressing students on social justice and the law. And she says that this is part of her effort to make her office accessible to the public, to make sure that people understand clearly the mandate of the office. Of course, one can say this is to counter, of course, the commentary and some of the media reporting around her office, especially as it relates to the number of court cases that she has lost recently, and of course the calls for her to step down, some suggesting that perhaps she is not competent and cannot continue as the public protector of this country. So certainly now she's taking to the streets, so to speak, taking to the people, taking it to the grassroots level, but also to students to present her side of story, to present the work that she's been doing so far. But also interestingly, of course, it's never just one story with the public protector Busem Kwebane. There's a number of matters that are making news in her office as we speak. We understand about 4 senior investigators and the COO of the public protector office have been fired by the public protector. This news broke out yesterday, and yesterday I had an interview with the outgoing deputy public protector, that is Advocate Mike Malunga, who said that is Advocate Malunga rather, and he said that he had no idea why these senior investigators had been let go by the Office of the Public Protector. But in that interview, he also said that the Office of the Public Protector is being run like a spy agency. There's a lot of matters that are done in secrecy, saying that 90% of investigations are not shared with the rest of the leadership, and saying that perhaps Parliament needs to look into these matters as to why the Public Protector Office is allegedly being run by is being run like a spy agency. And perhaps now we can link to that interview where I spoke to the Deputy Public Protector, that is Advocate Malunga, speaking on his tenure there. He's due to leave at the end of the year in December. The Public Protector, Advocate Kevin Malunga, is on his way out. His term ends in December. He says he is proud of the work the office has done over the years, assisting the most vulnerable people in society, the Gogo Dlaminis, as he calls them.
This has been a very interesting term of office. Very energetic, exciting, turbulent, but very productive. I want to emphasize that the work of the Office of the Public Protector is really about giving dignity to the most vulnerable people in society.
However, Malunga says in recent years he has been sidelined and removed from high-profile cases. He says that the office has been conducting investigations in secrecy.
These are institutions supporting democracy, institutions based on transparency, and they're not spy agencies. It's about making sure that you protect the people of this country. You open things up to them. The moment you start, and this is my advice to Parliament in future, that look, if these institutions are run in a secretive, surreptitious basis, you will have a culture of situations where things are done in darkness. And the courts have been scathing against us in that regard.
Malunga's gripe about being sidelined comes just days after Public Protector told Parliament that she had reassigned him due to his lack of top security clearance.
And of course, that's the prerogative of the Public Protector. But of course, Parliament had issues with that.
How did you feel about it?
Look, it's an unfortunate era in the institution, because you lose a certain opportunity to work optimally for the people.
Malunga also called on the institution to bring back a certain quality assurance mechanisms to improve the quality of reports. His comments come after many weeks of criticism leveled against the public protector after her reports were found wanting in the country's courts.
My take is that we should learn lessons from that. The courts are the apex of the rule of law. The courts are the final arbiters of disputes between citizens, and of course we must respect and abide by court decisions. So my take is that we must learn lessons from what the courts are saying. It's not a fight, it's not a conflict. I'm saying, hey, look, the courts are hammering us here.
But you are inside the institution, you are the deputy head of the institution, so why have you not been able to drive this advice? I have. But you've continued to lose nonetheless.
Well, there haven't been any recent ones.
Malunga has described his relationship with Advocate Mkhwebane as robust.
For these institutions to be very productive, you cannot have a yes man who says, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, everything, because then when that happens, that's when institutions go down. You get my point? There's got to be checks and balances within the institution. That's why you have this person as your deputy, so that they can advise you when you are going off track. It is not a fight.
According to Malunga, people still have trust in the office of the public protector as many cases continue to be reported. He refused to be drawn into calls from Mkhwebane to step down, arguing that's a matter for Parliament to look into. He also advised the Parliament to appoint an ethical deputy public protector with a thick skin. Sipho Stirman, SABC News, Pretoria. Well, that's the Deputy Public Protector who's outgoing, speaking about his tenure at the Public Protector Office, and perhaps giving advice to Parliament to hire a credible and ethical Deputy Public Protector going forward, someone that can have a bit of influence in the office and can advise the Public Protector to avoid the spate of cases that are hammered by the courts, as he says. And that was my conversation with him today. Of course, at TUT in Soshanguve, we're expecting Public Protector Mkhwebane to address students on social justice and law. And with that, it's back to you in studio.